Hi guys, how are you all today evening? Good evening. Today is 2nd February 2022. Let me introduce myself as TSB Raghavan, a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I mainly write on spirituality and fiction. I also write about some assorted items. I have been writing from 2015 onwards. That is, I have been publishing my books from 2015 onwards in Amazon, Kindle, and paperback. I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. Now, the book that I am going to talk to you, that is the Kindle booklet whose ISBN number is B07BSZ2W5L, is named as Looker. Actually, this book was written as Chikna, Chikna, that is the Hindi form of Looker in our mother tongue. But later, when it was published in Amazon Kindle, it was named as Looker. Looker is, as in the previous case of my another book called Smolder, a murder mystery. But this is different as far as the venues are concerned and as far as the way it has been carried out or the treatment of the subject are concerned. In Chennai, Tamil Nadu, in a place called OMR Road that connects Chennai with Pondicherry, on a rainy day when it has ended in a drizzle, the police find a Maruti van that has sped and gone into a watery ditch due to some accident, or so it seems. When the policemen look further, they find that the owner of this vehicle, who was driving this vehicle, was slumped in the steering wheel. He is an extraordinarily good-looking, middle-aged person who is apparently affluent, but the body perfume of this person is still intact, and except for some scratches on his forehead, there is no injury on his handsome face. One of the sleuths who is looking into this matter is a genius of the police department called Mr. Jacob Janardhan. Mr. Jacob Janardhan finds this whole thing a little fishy. He finds out that the dead man is known as Radhe Shyam, a person who is dealing in artificial jewelry, who is a North Indian and who is settled in Chennai. Whereas the Chennai crowd, the Chennai television local channels and the local newspapers lament Mr. Radhakrishnan's death and say that he has a very large heart and a generous attitude, Mr. Janardhan finds that Radhe Shyam's wife and the North Indian community in Chennai are not very keen to mourn this man's death. On a hunch, Mr. Jacob Janardhan takes the fingerprint of the corpse and puts it in the national website to find out if he can glean some information about the dead man. Within 48 hours, a message reaches him from Gwalior. It tells him that this man, Mr. Radheshyam or whoever he was, could not have died in an accident in Chennai because the fingerprints of the dead man tell that he was a person called Omi Chikna, a gangster called Omkar Nath, who was killed in a train accident 20 years ago in a place called Dholpur near Gwalior. Now, Mr. Jacob Janardhanan is visibly intrigued. There are several clues that point otherwise at the so-called goodness and largesse of Mr. Radheshyam. Mr. Jacob Janardhanan investigates this case with another very intelligent inspector from Gwalior, Mr. Puran Singh, and then he comes to know the real story behind the sad demise of the late lamented Radheshyam. When the police, the sleuths, and the investigators come to know about the real story of the death of Mr. Radheshyam, they are flummoxed because it looks stranger than fiction, and they are made to doubt whether the dead man or his killer was bad and the other was good. This is a very strange, intriguing story where you come across several facets of the underworld. Kindly see or read this story and find out how you like it. I'm certain that you will appreciate the innovation in the plot and the way it has been treated. Happy reading and all the very best from T.S.V. Raghavan.